Brian and Randy talked about a very even matchup. 27-year-old Nate Diaz against 28-year-old Jim Miller. Diaz much taller. He will have a 5-inch reach advantage. Once again, with the introductions, the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the New Jersey Athletic Control Board, with Commissioner Aaron Davis, Counsel Nick Lembo. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Romulo Bittencourt, Jeff Blatnick, and Dave Torelli. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Keith Peterson. And now, live on Fox, from the Izod Center in East Rutherford, New Jersey, it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 21 wins, 3 losses, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Whitby, New Jersey, Jim Miller! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu fighter, holding a professional record, 15 wins, 7 losses, standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Stockton, California, ladies and gentlemen, he is the Ultimate Fighter Season 5 winner, Nate Diaz!
Both of you have been given your instructions. Touch gloves if you like, let's fight.
Yep. None of that. The Diaz brothers with the meanest faces, Valdem and Diego Sanchez. As we get set for our main event, Miller and Diaz. Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Here we go. Tonight's clock brought to you by Chronicle. Lost Footage Edition on Blu-ray, May 15th. Southpaw against Southpaw. Nice leg kick right away by Miller. Red trunks for Jim Miller. Gray trunks for Nate Diaz.
And if there's one thing that Miller may have an advantage in, it may be those leg kicks. Nate tends to favor boxing. I mean, he does throw knees and leg kicks as well, but maybe not quite as much as Miller does. Other than that, I mean, besides the length of Nate Diaz, it's so hard to figure out who has an advantage in what area of this fight.
Both men black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
And as we said, I mean, these are the premier fighters in this division, this 155-pound talent stack division, and these are amongst, the 4 or 5 best. You've got Anthony Pettis, you must throw in that mix as well. Ray Maynard is still in the mix. Frankie Edgar's still in the mix. There's just so many great fighters in this division.
The champion Benson Henderson in the studio on the post-fight show on Fuel TV after our coverage here on Fox.
And he will rematch Frankie the Answer Edgar. That should be an interesting fight as well.
Another Jersey kid.
So far, Miller is able to hold Nate up against the cage, but both guys are exchanging shots in this position. Whoops, he slips, kick to the body by Nate.
Well, Joe, it's something that Brian Stan and Randy Couture talked about with Kurt Menefee, controlling and neutralizing the reach advantage and the distance of Nate Diaz. Getting in tight and fighting in the clinch is one way to do that.
Another way to do that is attack the legs, because from the distance where you can leg kick is still a little bit further away than what Nate can punch. When you're both exchanging punches, Nate is also going to have the advantage in reach.
Miller feels like he can out-muscle Nate Diaz.
Well, Nate's a skinny guy, but he's very strong, and he's very technical, so he doesn't need as much physical strength because his placement and his positioning is so good.
Oh, he placed that right hand perfectly on the jaw of Miller.
Good shot to the body also by Nate.
When Nate starts to unleash in 4, 5, 6 punch combinations, that's when he's starting to find his rhythm. Inside leg kick from Diaz.
Good overhand by Miller.
Miller's gone to that a few times already, Joe.
When Nate keeps his hands down low,
Richard Perez has worked the boxing of Nate and his older brother Nick for so long. They have a unique style. They are mirror images in so many ways of each other, and as effective as any strikers in the UFC. Not a single punch knockout power possessor in either of the brothers, but the accumulation of strikes has done some serious damage to their opponents over the years.
Well, they have a very unusual style in that what's most important to them is that they hit you. Not that they hit you full blast. They just keep hitting you, and they don't try to put 100% on every punch.
And that's a great way to keep your cardio up near the top, too.
Yeah, it's a very interesting style, and it's very effective.
Right now, again, in the clinch, this is an exhausting style of fighting here in round one. Looking for the single is Miller.
He's got that leg high and lands a punch at the same time.
Diaz has outstanding takedown defense, and he shows it here.
He's hanging on his neck here. Oh, nice knee by Nate.
See if he throws another one. Oh, nice punishment of the body there.
Good shots to the body. Jim's got to get out of there, and he does.
Miller on the counter.
And there's more kicks. I gotta think the kicks are going to be a big part of Miller's attack. And one thing to think about that is, although they can wear the legs out and they're very effective in slowing down your opponent, they take a lot more out of you. It's a lot more difficult to throw a kick than it is to throw a punch.
Diaz nearly 3 times as busy in the clinch as Miller here in the first round.
Oh, good
Big
straight
shot
left.
rocked him.
Right on the chin.
The straight left of Nate Diaz.
You hear Jim's corner yelling out, 30 seconds, Jim, 30 seconds. They just want him to survive here. They know he's probably still dazed. And they tried to spin to take the back, but look at that. Jim wound up taking his back. And a scramble and back to their feet.
Miller pushing forward still. And
Miller's
he gets Diaz to his back. Final seconds of round one.
And Nate swept him. And Nate's on top now.
Great finish to our first round of action. Round 2, 60 seconds away.
Let's take a look at the most significant strike in that round, and that is the straight left of Nate Diaz that dropped Jim Miller.
Sir, are you ready? Sir, are you ready? Fight.
In 24 career fights, Jim Miller has never been finished. In his 12 UFC fights, he has never been taken down. And he is tied for first all time for wins at 155 in the UFC with the prodigy BJ Penn, the former champion.
And there was a decent leg kick by Miller. And that was one thing that his corner kept calling for. Attack the legs.
Miller pushing forward. Diaz, Joe, has 10 UFC wins in his career as well, but some have come in the welterweight division. A little dirty boxing by Nathan Diaz.
It's interesting, Diaz's corner was telling him to avoid the clinch, but meanwhile he instigated it. He must feel strong here.
Nate, 1 year and 8 months younger than Nick Diaz, one of the top welterweights in the world. And I talked to Nick about his little brother a few months back. I said, I've been proud of him for years.
Big elbow over the top by Miller.
Miller trying to do the damage in short range and staying inside of the reach of Nate Diaz. Both Diaz brothers triathletes. They both have incredible cardio endurance.
Jim is trying to work. He's trying to perhaps lock a hold of Nate Diaz's left arm in that position. Now they're just tying each other up.
Miller in the red, Diaz in the gray. The counter right on the finish.
Good left hand by Miller.
When Nate starts to drop those hands, that's when he is starting to get confident, but he's got to be careful with Jimmy Miller.
That was another good clean left hand by Miller, Mike.
Yep.
Excuse me, by Nate. I said Miller, but I meant Diaz.
Diaz with the right lead.
Good knee.
I like the way Nate's really mixing it up. A lot of knees thrown.
Flying knee.
Here comes vintage Nate Diaz.
Oh, man.
Short punch by Miller, and again. Past the midway point of the second round. Diaz trying to break Miller down, who, as I mentioned, has never been finished in his MMA career.
One thing I'm noticing, Mike, is that Jim Miller is breathing with his mouth wide open, and there's a lot of blood coming from the nose. It may very well be that his nose is broken and he can't breathe out of it.
Right in front of his corner, his brother Dan in his corner
knee
tonight.
And he dropped down to one hand to make that knee illegal. When you're in a three-point stance and one knee is down on the ground, the opponent can no longer knee you in the face. So now, Nate
punch him in the face. Yep. Great use of the clinch by Nate Diaz. The impressive numbers turned in by Diaz, who, as we mentioned, set the UFC record for most significant strikes landed in his last fight against Donald Cerrone, 238. Second all-time is brother Nick, with 178 back at UFC 137.
Nate is taunting him here. He just landed a really nice uppercut inside. Big power shots there by Nate.
Nate
and
grabbing onto the
takedown. Look at this, guillotine choke,
this
power
is
guillotine.
For Miller.
It's a power guillotine, Mike. That is very deep.
Can Diaz be the first to finish him? Can he choke him out here?
Well, he's got one arm that's trapped here. He's gonna try it again.
Miller trying to break free.
He's gonna tap. He's gonna tap.
It's all over. It is all over. Nate Diaz becomes the first man to stop Jim Miller.
You gotta love the way he celebrates. What? He gets in front of the camera. What? Those guys are a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun and a lot of technique. Very, very talented fighter. And that just goes to show you how well-rounded Nate Diaz's game is. Let's check out how he did it, Mike. He went with, it's a one-arm guillotine, Mike. See, he doesn't even have it locked up with his left. He's just choking him with his one arm. He's got the left through, but he doesn't have it attached to the right. Now he grabs his hands together and moves to a mount. And this is a tremendous amount of pressure here on the neck. Look at Jim Miller, his tongue stuck out of his mouth. Wow, it looked like he got caught with his tongue out of his mouth while he was doing that. Let's take a close-up on his face here again. That is a nasty submission. Yeah, his mouthpiece got knocked out and his tongue was, look at that. That is horrifying, man. He's biting his own tongue off there. See, the referee stepped in to separate that?
The Cesar Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt wins by submission. The UFC on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Chronicle, Lost Footage Edition on Blu-ray, May 15th.
Junior Dos Santos is the new UFC heavyweight champion of the world.
It's the one-shot knockout ability of Junior Dos Santos. Who can stop that man?
Look at this! Unbelievable! Finish it!
I don't know how it's gonna go, but I can't imagine it being anything other than chaos.
Dos Santos and Mir at the end of the month, but tonight belongs to the Ultimate Fighter winner, Nathan Diaz, with the official decision, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Keith Peterson's called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 9 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by tap out due to submission from a guillotine choke, Nate Diaz!
Huge win for Nate. He will visit with Joe Rogan right now. Some great sportsmanship shown by both fighters, Miller and Diaz. And here is Joe.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Nathan Diaz. First of all, Nate, congratulations on a very, very impressive performance. Jim Miller's a tough dude, and you completely handled him in this fight. How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. I'm happy to come out to New Jersey and perform in front of all you guys in my boy's hometown, you know. I know he's a great fighter. I have nothing bad to say about the guy. the whole time building up to the fight. It was hard to be motivated to train for the fight. That's kind of what I had to just work that. I was behind the enemy line, you know, so I'm going home, California, baby.
You controlled the stand-up aspect of this fight, but when you got it to the ground, that's when you finished it. And let's take a look at that finish. You had him in what looked like a one-arm guillotine at first, and then you switched it into an arm in. Like when you're in this position right here, you only had one arm through, right?
Yeah, I see that one arm's doing the work.
The left arm, the right arm?
Yeah, but the left one's keeping it in place. And then when I take the arm off to readjust my hand, it kind of
Yeah, then when you
makes
readjusted,
it
you
happen.
mounted it here. From here, you pretty much knew you had him.
It was pretty tight. It was tight.
Well, listen, this is a beautiful technical submission victory. Congratulations on another awesome performance. This puts you at the top of the heap of the lightweight division, and you got to think that you must be one of the top people in line for a shot at the title next. Give us your thoughts on that.
I'm trying to be the #1 in this world, you know what I'm saying? There's only one person above all of us, and that's Gilbert El Nino Melendez, the true world champion lightweight. He's fighting next 2 weeks from now against Josh Thompson. Much love to Gilbert, the whole El Nino Training Center, Cesar Gracie fight team, my brother Nick Diaz, Randy Spence, Victor Gordon, my best boxing coach, Victor Perez, my only boxing coach. I'm sorry. I want to thank Josh Neer, Ronda Rousey. Who else came out? Cody McKenzie, Daniel Roberts. Thank you very much for all your help, and the whole Cesar Gracie fight team. Val Ignatoff, my sambo coach. Hey, my brother Nick and his girlfriend Heather, they helped me out a lot. My girlfriend, Missy Brown, for helping me out make weight, doing all my cooking.
Congratulations, brother. Spectacular performance. Nate Diaz, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, hold on, I'm still thanking some people. Stockton, California, Lodi, California, Northern California. That's what's up. Don't stop.
That may be the most vocal we have ever seen Nate Diaz be. Exuberant in victory.
I'm here with Jim Miller. Jim, obviously disappointed. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
He had my number, you know. Nate is a tough guy. I knew it was going to be a tough fight coming in, and, you know, he just was landing strikes and you know, hurting me.
What was the game plan coming in?
You know, pressure. Try to keep him moving back and, you know, just not let him use his range, but he found it and was going to work.
What, if anything, was surprising about the fight?
Nothing really. You know, I knew coming in he's one of the best, and you know, he deserves that shot. There shouldn't be any step in his way now to that title run. So yeah, you know, he had my number.
Well, listen, man, I'm sure you'll be back to the drawing board and better than ever the next time we see you, and I can't wait to see that. Jim Miller, ladies and gentlemen.
Always a classy competitor, Jim Miller. Choked out in the second round by Nate Diaz, who is still thanking people. Our Move of the Fight brought to you by Metro PCS. Wireless for all. And it's the submission that finishes this fight as Diaz becomes the first man to ever stop Jim Miller.
And the way he did it, so technical, Mike. If you look how he had that left arm through, really just sort of holding the neck in place, then finally readjusts his hands, achieves the mount position, and really put a nasty guillotine choke. And look, you see his tongue is stuck out. That is gross. Gross and effective.